Jimmy Barnes, lovely to talk to you. How are you?
I'm very good. Yourself?
Oh, I'm great, thank you. I guess just thinking about what the first question was going to be that I was going to ask you, probably the best one is, what's life like being Jimmy Barnes?
It has its moments. Just like anything, there's a lot of hard work. It's great. I have, the opportunity to get out and play music every night, which is fantastic. I get to travel and go to great places to work and record, but it's by no means a walk in the park. You gotta hang around with me for a start.
Yeah.
But it's also it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't change it for quids. I mean, there's certainly lots of faults and lots of flaws in my character, but overall it's I'm changing and learning and growing all the time.
As being one of the most loved and most recognised people in Australia, what's it like? I mean, everywhere you go, you must just be swamped with people asking you questions and giving their opinion and saying that was my favourite song or this was my favourite album. What's that like?
I don't mind that actually. It's good to talk to people and sort of and find out what they're liking and what they're not liking in the music you're doing. It's good for them to get people's opinions. And I happen to like people anyway, so I don't mind having a chat with people. And I'm one of those people who are quite happily sit and have a chat with people. So it doesn't bother me that much. And and obviously if people come up and they're moaning or they've got or they're being rude or whatever, then I haven't got a lot of time for them. But if someone's just sort of having a chat, I'm right up for it.
What's the best part of it? What's the bit that you're really, for want of a better term, addicted to? Is it producing a great album? Is it coming out on the crowd?
There's lots of different things. Yeah. Well, really, we were talking about this last night. You make records, to satisfy something in yourself, first. So if you can make a record that you feel really happy with, and you manage to get all the things you wanted to say down, and you exercised a few demons and all that sort of stuff, then that's a really great thing. But there's also that side of the live performance. I honestly believe that when I get in front of people, I'm a better singer because the energy of the audience, makes me work harder, makes me try things that I wouldn't try on my own, and pushes me to become a better singer. And I guess that's sort of that's sort of musically that's sort of the good thing. And and obviously somewhere along the line, you try and push yourself, and your family pushes you, and you change and grow and try and become a better person along the way too.
We have heard the Jimmy Barnes early years story. I think a lot of people know it's quite an interesting story, but probably one thing that I don't think has been all that well covered is actually how you actually learnt the trade. I know that your brother John Swan was a big factor in that, but I mean, did you ever do singing lessons, or where did you learn music?
No, I've never had a singing lesson, but I sang since I could talk. I mean, we all sang just around the house. And basically, that was it. I sang at every opportunity I could get. I joined bloody church choirs, school choirs. I was, everything I could do to basically get out and sing. And I'd sing wherever I could. And my family, my brother, my mom and dad, they all had great taste in music, and they played great music. So I got to hear good music all the time, and that's important if you're trying to be, the more influences you can get in there, the more things that sort of good quality music you hear, it makes that sort of sticks in your brain, and I think you slowly become a better musician because of it.
It was a meteoric rise, wasn't it? How do you feel looking back on it now? I mean, I guarantee.
Listen, it wasn't that meteoric. I just sort of it was a long slow haul. I mean, I was on the road with coaches for 10 years, and probably of that, the last 2 or 3 years were we were really successful. Really successful the last 2. From east through. But it's there's been moments where you forget, and you get a bit, you get your, head up your bum a little bit, and you sort of, think you're better than anybody, and you get all that stuff, and you learn to live and grow through that stuff, and realize that, it's not, I don't want to be a pop star. I want to be a rock and roll singer, and to do that, you've got to keep yourself pretty well grounded, keep yourself, focused, and keep yourself learning, and you've got to drive yourself hard. You can't sit back and just, lounge around and in your limo, and not take any notice of the people. You've got to stay close to people.
Well, you had very much a working class background, and you took the apprenticeship and the iron smelter. Was there a fear of the music career not working out? Did that drive you as well?
No, the classic thing was I felt I always wanted to be a musician. I didn't know really you know, whether it would happen or not, or whether it's possible. I didn't realize that you could make a living out of it. But it was something that I loved. My dad, you know, my stepfather, Reg Barnes, he was one of those guys, you know, who, you've always got to have something to fall back on, you know, you've always got to, you know, and really, if he'd had his way, he would have had me staying at school and going to university, which in a lot of things, in a lot of ways, I wish I had of, you know, because, you know, I'd probably be a better person, and a better songwriter, because I would have studied more English and, you know, and philosophy and stuff like that. But I, you know, as a 16-year-old, I just, you know, so I opted to go and get a job, and, you know, applied for a bunch of apprenticeships, and really it was to keep him happy more than me. The reality of the thing was that I always just wanted to be a musician, a singer. So I went and started an apprenticeship I did it for about 8 months, 12 months, and then, you know, 8 months I think it was, and then Cold Chisel popped up, and suddenly I was in a rock and roll band at 16 years old, and you know, either the job or the band had to go, and I chose the band.